All right. As promised, this is the follow up video that I mentioned yesterday that I will be doing to update everybody. This is a big update because I haven't done a video in a long time since growing the sweet potatoes from last year. But actually, this is the bed that I used last year to grow last year's sweet potatoes. And I know I had a lot of people asking about how they came out. I had a total of 7 pounds. I had a total of 4 pounds from this bed and 3 pounds from the grow bags that I was using. And a lot of them came out small and medium size. Actually, I got to find the pictures that I had of and actually I got the video that I did when I was harvesting them last September. But I had this whole basket was halfway full of potatoes from this bed, and this is actually one of my longer sweet potatoes right here. And a lot of them for me came out long like this, and a lot of them came out small, but they did have more flavor than I would normally get from the store. You know, the store ones, they are a lot bigger. They're a lot bigger, but these had more flavor than going to Winn-Dixie, Rouse's, Walmart, or what have you. Um, Actually, this one is starting to sprout again because, like I said, I had these since like last September, and I started eating on them. I started eating on a lot of them, and I just had it sitting in there. And when you let them sit, this is what happens: they sprout, and another you can actually begin another plant from this actually. So as you can see, I have extra. If anybody wants any to begin your own growing your own sweet potatoes, just you can get with me and I can give you these or whatever. But um, as you can see, I've already started planting my sweet potatoes for this summer or this year. And let me give you an overview of what we have. The reason, first let me excuse me, let me address why I believe the sweet potatoes came out this size. I think they came out. I think I had a lot of them coming out this size because due to not enough nutrition. If some of you go back, if some of you remember, I used Miracle Grow Performance Organics, and that particular soil just had it just had organic material in it. So it was natural stuff in it, and I used some organic fertilizer at just only at the beginning of planting the sweet potatoes, and that was it. Um, I didn't give it much nutrition aside from banana peels and banana water. I would blend the banana peels in water and water this bed and along with regular water. So I was trying to use that as fertilizer. So that's why I believe that they came out so small. Now, since then, since that time frame up until now, last November, what I did in regards to this bed is I did an in-bed compost. So I put all my compost materials, like compost is when you take food scraps, you take grass, and you could use other soil or sand, dirt, um, and a lot of other natural stuff like leaves and all of that stuff. You mix it together, you let it break down, and it forms into a soil or something that you can grow plants in. So I did that. I let all that break down here in this bed, and I also put some extra grass in here, and I put some in the month of March. Yeah, in the month of March, I added some black cow and worm castings in here. So it has a lot more nutrition in it. I stuck with the soil. I stuck with the soil that I used last year, and I just added all of that stuff that I just listed. And as you can see, leaves keep falling in it because of a tree, because of this tree here. And actually that's good, because leaves are very good for soil. If you let leaves break down into your soil, that's actually some beneficial nutrition that's being added. So what I have here, I planted last year. I planted the let me let this jet fly past. That's the jets from Bell Chase. Last year, I planted these. I was able to transplant my slips into this bed. I think it was around May 18th. And this year I started, I planted all of these May, when was it? March 3rd. This was March 3rd. Well, some of these are planted later than that. I wrote it on popsicle sticks. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, it came off. Most of these at the front were planted on March 3rd of this year. And like this particular one was planted maybe a month later. So last year I tried to last year I started in May and harvested the potatoes in September. This year I started them in March and I plan to harvest them in September. So this would allow a lot of, give them a great opportunity to get bigger. And with the added nutrition, I'm expecting a better result. So on this row, I have, this row is Japanese potatoes. These are Japanese potatoes. Aside from this one, this is actually cucumber. My wife, she wanted me to try cucumber, so I got this in here, but I believe I'm about to get ready to move it. Let me try to let you see the Japanese potato. Let's see it. Can I get to it? And I have the netting here, as you can see, because things like to dig. I don't know whether it's squirrels. I did see some possums coming back here when I was close to harvesting these potatoes last year. So I had to. That's another reason why I got them out of here last year. But I got protection now, so I think I'm gonna be ready for them this time around if they coming back. But this is the Japanese potato here. I can't get to it. I'm gonna have to take my booby traps off. I got these logs here to keep the netting in place so that nothing won't mess with my crops. Because sometimes that happens. We gotta compete with the animals for our food, and I'm not growing food for animals. I'm growing food for me and my family. All right. So this is what you call a seed potato. This is a Japanese potato, if you can see it. This is like a burgundy. It has like a pink. Actually, it's more of like a pinkish burgundy colored skin, and the inside, the flesh is like a yellow color, and it has a subtle It has a subtle maple flavor to it, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. And the reason why I'm getting into all of these different kinds of potatoes is because they have added benefits. They have very high nutrition, other than the regular white potato and even the normal orange potato. Like, so these are mostly Japanese potatoes. These are purple potatoes. These are called the Okinawan potatoes. And let me go ahead and take all of the netting off, because I'm about to reorganize and move some stuff around. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, these are Okinawan potatoes. Um, this is how they look. A tan outside, but on the inside, it's a rich royal purple color. It's beautiful. And purple, that's my favorite color. And a few years ago, and this is another purple potato. I think this is called the Stokes purple potato. I put this in here because I was actually trying to get it to sprout, but it didn't. All of the nutrients are taken out of it now, so I'm gonna just take it out. But this one here, this is another one that I'm having trouble getting to sprout. I don't know how to do it. But as you can see, the Japanese potato, that'll sprout. And the orange potato, this is actually a seed potato for the orange one. It sprouted very good. The orange ones, they sprout easy. They sprout pretty easily. But see this Okinawan, this purple one? I don't know. I don't know how to get it yet. But I have, the reason why I have slips from the Okinawan potato is because of it's due to last year. I saved my slips from last year. I bought them inside. I put them in a planted pot last year, and I just kept them alive. And I set some in mason jars with water, and I just kept them alive. And I used some of those same ones and planted in this bed, and that's why I still have some, and that's why I was able to get started so early. And then too, here in New Orleans, we don't have the cold. We don't have real cold winters, and that actually help me get started faster too. This right here, I don't know what kind of plant this is. It has something to do with it's like some breed of a tomato plant. I don't know. I don't even know where this comes from. I didn't plant that. I just took a picture with Google Images and looked it up, and it said it's some kind of cross plant with, has something to do with some kind of tomato. So I'm gonna let it grow a little bit bigger, and I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. But this row, all of this row is orange potatoes right here. This whole row. So this is orange, this is purple, up to here, and most of this is Japanese, aside from this cucumber right here. And really, I need to detach this one from the seed potato, and I guess maybe plant it here. We'll figure it out. So here in my house, we got some plumbing work happening underneath our house, and the guys, they were digging a hole for the new pipes to be installed last Thursday, and I had some greens growing. I had some greens, some collard greens, and cabbages in this spot. But as you can see, it had to get, some work got to get done. So that's why I had to take all of that stuff out, and I couldn't figure out where else to put all of this stuff. So I just broke down and got another garden bed to put back here. And this is it right here. Now the reason why my greens and cabbages look like this is because the hotter it gets, the bugs started eating them, and I got to get some 7 dust to sprinkle on top of that. But with greens and with cabbage, you just take the leaves off and leave the root and leave the stem, and it'll grow right back. So I'm not concerned about that. But I got some other stuff that I want to try to get going, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to organize this stuff so I can have room for it. So in this planter box here, I have lavender, and I have raspberries. All of these are raspberries. My dad, he wants some raspberries, and I got that plant last September or last October, and a lot of it got killed off because we had that cold snap during Christmas time last year, but it came back, and it came back strong too. So I'm thinking about moving this into the new bed over there. These are some strawberries that I got a few months ago, just from Lowe's. Well, one strawberry plant, the Quinault, Quinault. I got them from Lowe's. It was a starter plant, and I planted that last October, I believe it was, and I just kept it going. And I had it in this bed first because by that time I had the sweet potatoes out of that already, and I moved it. I think I moved it over here in this box, or in this no, I had it in this garden, in this planter box first, and then I transplanted it over here. And then I also bought another strawberry plant. I forget what variety it is. Once I get to the tag, maybe I'll be able to tell you. But they're doing very good. And as you can see, I had to put netting on this because something was eating at the beginning when the strawberries began blooming, something was eating them. I didn't catch them in the act, but something was eating them, so I put the netting on there, and that seems to have solved that problem. I have some cantaloupe. This is a cantaloupe plant right here. It's 2 of them actually. And I actually tried to grow cantaloupe last year. I did it, but I did it too late. It was in August, and cantaloupes need three hot months to grow. So it actually got the size of a baseball. It fit in the palm of my hand, but it didn't. It stayed green. It still didn't. It wasn't appetizing at all. So I'm giving that another try, and that's something that I'm thinking about moving into the new garden bed over there. This is mulberry. I never saw that before. I saw that in Winn-Dixie, and I said, let me try that. So we'll see what happens with that. This is actually poinsettias. My wife Tanika, she liked this, so I saw it, and I said, well, let me see if we could save this one leaf or this one piece of the plant, and it's doing pretty good. These are some extra orange sweet potato slips that I have, so if anybody wants them, let me know. You could have them. This is actually a grape plant. These are, I don't know if these are the purple ones or the green ones. I'm not sure, but that's there. I don't know if I'm actually gonna keep this because I'm not sure if we have the climate. I don't know if we have the right climate for this. And this is aloe, and I'm gonna replant this today as well. It should be more green, and I think it's lacking some nutrients, so that's why it's probably discolored. And this is something that came up along with the I don't know if it came up along with the aloe or what, but these are some plants I think somebody will be interested in keeping. So I got all of this stuff going on. This is the state of the garden bed here. Um, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, compost. That's another thing. One thing that I didn't expect that I would like so much is composting. I didn't even know about composting one time when I got started with the sweet potatoes last year. I learned a lot last year. I learned a lot, and composting is now one of my favorite things to do because it saves you some money. It's just basically making your own soil. So this right here, it just looks like, it might look like trash, but no, it's actually some soil being made. And I mixed it with grass, leaves, a little bit of food scraps. And the food scraps I like to use are mainly fruit and vegetables. A lot of banana peels. I find banana peels and cantaloupe rinds are two of my favorite food scraps to use for compost because I feel like, they make the soil loose and fine, and the texture comes out real good. So that's what I got in there in that pot. And over here I have a compost bin. This is where I have some that's being made right now. Actually, it's being made right now, and it's cooking too. It's hot. So I do a lot of hot composting. And this is another, I'm using a grow bag to make this compost. And basically you just let it sit. You let all of these ingredients sit, you let it break down, and you turn it every few days. But in that case, with that one over there, I may need to turn that today. But you want to always make sure you smother your food scraps. Don't put that at the very top. That's how you collect all of those flies. So you usually start with grass, dirt. You don't have to use grass. You can use something green, but make sure that whatever green you use, make sure that plant or those green leaves break down easy. Don't use nothing waxy like. Don't use anything. I wouldn't advise you to use anything waxy like this, because this is hard to break down. But like this might be like this kind of leaf. This might be more. That might be better. But the best thing to use is grass, because you can chop it up real fine. You cut the grass, and you can, as it goes in the bag, you could just use the grass out of that bag. Or you can use old vegetables. Like if I choose to get rid of some cabbage, I can just tear the leaves and put into a compost bin. So compost is good because it stretches out the soil that you already have. You add it to your soil for additional nutrition. Or you can use it to plant directly in. Like for example, this cantaloupe plant, this is all compost that I made. I made this. Okay. And in these boxes, I added some compost into both of these things. This is leftover soil. All of these plants right here, these two, this is leftover soil with the addition of compost that I made. Okay, I remember one time, last November, while it was still hot, before it got cold, I stopped I was going to the levee, and I stopped over there by the park right next to the levee, and I noticed this soil, I noticed this dirt. It looked dark and it looked rich, and I said, man, I gotta go check that out. So I went and checked it out, and I noticed how fine it was. I said, man, let me go get my grow bag and fill it up. So I went got the grow bag, and I filled it up. And in between the winter months, I put some food scraps in it, and I put food scraps in it. I composted it, and it's doing good. I'm trying to see, where is it now? It's in one of those boxes, but I'm just saying, that's how composting can help you save money, because that you may have a time where you have to get new soil, but you can stretch it out. And you can also reuse the soil just by simply composting, just by simply, letting food scraps and all of that stuff break down in it and replenish the nutrients in it. So in this bed, like I said yesterday, I put black cow in here. Um, this is what it looks like. Black cow, black cow manure. Okay, so I put that in here, and I use Miracle-Gro again. Some people don't like Miracle-Gro, but I used a raised bed soil this time. Like I said, last year I went with the organic mixture, which just has organic materials in it. There's nothing wrong with just using organic material, but if you want to grow fruit and vegetables, you're going to need more nutrition in it. And this one, the raised bed soil, the reason why I like this is because it has, let's see, what's the part I want to get to? It has peat moss, poultry litter, alfalfa meal, bone meal, kelp meal, and earthworm castings. So that's why I went with this one, because all of those things will give the plants good nutrition, and they'll be able to grow. And I mixed it along with black cow. That's even more nutrition and proper nitrogen. So that's what I got here. This is I got this bed from Lowe's. I didn't build it myself. I didn't cut any wood. I just picked this up from Lowe's, and I was able to put it together. It's real easy. You don't even need any tools to put it together. I put some cardboard under it that'll keep the weeds out of this bed, and filled it with the two soils that I just showed you. So now I'm going to decide what I'm going to put here. As of now, I'm considering putting the raspberries and the strawberries in here, and I may just put these greens. I may just switch out the space between these raspberries and put the greens in that planter box over there, and I want to put the strawberries in here as well. Now, as it relates to the cantaloupe, I would like to put the cantaloupe in here too, and I want to try to grow a watermelon. I tried to grow watermelon last year. It didn't work. It would sprout. The plant would got about to maybe 2 inches thick or 2 inches tall, but I just didn't have enough nutrition. Even in the garden bed at the community garden, it didn't have enough nutrition. I tried to grow potatoes in there, and they didn't come out good at all. My potatoes here came out better compared to at the community garden, and I was under the impression that the bed was filled with actual soil last year, but it wasn't. But I took care of that problem, and I'll do another video about that as well. So I'm gonna decide and transplant some stuff, and I'll be back.